All right, now they got the body retopologized. Now we're gonna retopologize the clothing. Okay, so we just finished the low poly, looked pretty good. Now we're going to retopologize the clothing. Which piece do I want to start out with first? You know what? Let's do the pants first. So I'm gonna hide everything. I'll keep the body there. You know what? No, I lied. I'm gonna hide the body too. Before I start retopologizing the pants, I'm gonna take the belt buckle here and I'm gonna put it into its own category because that will be separate. Let's hide that. There we go. We just got the pants. How I'm gonna do this is just very similar to how I just did the body. So I'm gonna start out with a cube. All right, let's put this right about here. Shrink it down. Let's do that. So there we go. Go into edit, delete this and this. Then I'm going to subdivide, make it a little bit bigger. I may go a little bit faster with this video because I just got done doing the retopology. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend watching that video before going into this because I go over every steps of retopologizing. So this is just more of a speed course through that. But I will slow down and explain some things. I want to delete this edge and select every other edge. Then bevel. So I have a nice 12 edge loop. Down a little bit more. Now I'm going to go into form, shrink wrap modifier, select pants. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and just apply that. Now I'm going to apply all the transformation, then put a mirror, and there we go, mirrored pants. Now let's go into edit mode, turn on retopology. There we go. And I'm going to actually move this loop up to right there. And maybe rotate it just a tiny little bit. And then turn on snapping, and then over here turn on clipping. Let's make sure all these vertices are snapping to the pants. Make sure they're also evenly spaced out. All right, that looks good. Now I'm going to go in here between the legs and this E to extrude. Did I talk about this already? Where I saw this on Bluesky, where they posted this crash out, Gen AI, this AI bro was talking about how he spent 3 hours retopologizing a head, and he was just flipping out, calling everyone who doesn't like AI bad word. And he's like, I spent 3 hours clicking on extrude. I was clicking on it. I'm like, E. The shortcut for extrude is E. And he actually talked about using Blender, and he's like, I hope you guys lose all your jobs and all your money and AI, blah, blah, blah. Like, skill issue. 100% fucking skill issue. Like, I'm not trashing the guy for spending 3 hours retopologizing the head. Because when you're doing retopologizing for the first time, yeah, it's going to take a while. I'm not judging him for that. Because when I first retopologized, a head took me like 3 to 4 hours. Because it's new and you don't really know what you're doing. And that just takes time to learn how to properly retopologize. But to not know the shortcuts, when they literally say, when you hover over the tool, it says shortcuts, space bar, shift space bar, or E, or you could just look up shortcuts, Blender shortcuts. There's a whole freaking list of Blender shortcuts. And he just went all over. It's like, wow, that is just a baby. Retopologizing does take time and practice. And I'm not going to judge you for take as long as you need on your art, especially retopologize. Okay, that does take time to get things just right. Okay, no rush. But to whine and just start trashing people who don't like AI because you don't know the shortcut for extrude is E. What do you expect for a man who praises Gen AI to actually read? Exactly. That's the problem I have with AI. It teaches people to be lazy. Don't be lazy. All right, so now I'm gonna take this edge and extrude it up. Remember, the keyboard shortcut for extrude is E. E for extrude. Next week on Sesame Street, I want to hit R. R for rotate. Don't use AI. All right, then I want to hit E to extrude again, and there we go. So I want this. Yeah, I want something that looks like this. Now I'm going to go over into the back and do the exact same thing. So basically, whatever you do with the front, you want to do with the back, and extrude that out. And you know what? Kind of put these vertices right on this seam. Now I'll move this in. Next thing I want to do is I don't have enough vertices here. Like I don't have enough here. So I'm going to put a quick edge loop right here. That's fine. Then select these two vertices, hold shift and select, then hit F and F to bridge. Then do the same thing back there. There you go. Now back to the front. I want to select these vertices. Now I'm going to select these edges, just control and click so it gets a nice line. Then E to extrude all the way up to right about there. Then select these two, F to bridge, and just move it right about here. Now I'm going to select these. Let's select only these edges and move it up one more. And don't put the vertices too close to the belt. Leave a little bit of a space. Right about there should be good. Now we'll come back to the belt in a little bit because I just want to go down here and finish up the legs. E to extrude, R to rotate. Now I'm not going to worry about these spaces just yet. I just want to get the shape of the pants out first, and I'll add more loops in. Now I want to put these right here on the rim. Now I'm going to select the rim. Now I want to select the rim. I'm actually going to turn off magnet and hit 3 for the side view. Then extrude down to right about there. There we go. Now I'm just going to bring all the vertices right there, and it looks good. Go back to 3 for side view. Then extrude it right here. And just, whoops. Let's turn off the snapping. And get that right there. There we go. Then make sure everything snaps correctly to the pants. Okay, now that I got all that looking good, I'm just going to select it. Then hit E to extrude. Go in a little bit. Right about there. And go in right about there. And then hit M to merge everything at center. Now I'm going to hit 3 for side view. I'm going to turn off snapping. And now I'm going to be adding in some more loops for the pants. That should be good. Now I'm going to go back to object mode. Oh, I forgot to turn on the shrink wrap. Or I forgot to reapply the new shrink wrap. Let's do that real quick. Shrink wrap. Apply to the pants. Apply the shrink wrap. You know what? Let's re-put it. When I'm doing retopology, I use shrink wrap a lot. Like, I use that a lot. Because there we go. It gets nice and neat on there. I still have to make some adjustments, but that's fine. Now I'm just going to real quick fix some of these polys here. Now I'm going to adjust the polys back here. Now back up here, I'm actually going to lower these a little bit. All right, that looks good. I'm going to save it. All right, now with the pants here, I'm actually going to bring everything down just one little bit more. Going to then select these and then extrude them up one more, and then move these right here very close to where the belt loops are. Now I'm going to take this edge and extrude it back here, rotate it and extrude it back here, move these right about there, so that should be good. Now I'm going to move these up right here, and then going to take this edge and I'm going to extrude it over like that, extrude it over one more, and then one more. Press the decimal to zoom in. Now I'm going to finish up back here, and then I will focus on the loop in the belt. Let's select these two, extrude out. Then select these two vertices, hit F to bridge. I'm going to select these and just select these and extrude out once. Want to bring the vertices right on that edge. Extrude. Now, how many do I have here? I have 6 edges. And you know what? That works. I like that. I'm going to extrude this out, and I'm actually going to go over to scale and just scale it back right about there. Perfect. Now, I noticed that this is a little bit blocky here. So I'm going to move these down. Make a little bit of space here. Move all these up like that. There we go. I'm going to turn off the snapping and add one extra loop in there because his butt looked a little flat. So there we go. I'm going to add one more loop and put it right here. There you go. That looks good. All right. Since now I added that loop and it kind of got a little too close there, so I'm just going to turn off the clipping on the mirror and just kind of move it over. Make some adjustments here. All right. Now that we got all that, I'm going to apply the shrink wrap, and we don't need the shrink wrap on any longer. Because when we apply the shrink wrap to the pants, well, they're only going to get shrink wrap to the pants. These belt loops and belt, they're separate meshes, so they're not going to shrink wrap to them. So we're going to have to manually make sure that every vertice is on the mesh. I'll make a quick save. Now I'm going to take these two edges and extrude them up, then extrude them again to make sure they are right on the edge of the belt here. Now I want to select these and extrude them up again. So there we go. Then just keep on hitting E to extrude. Did extrude. So there we go. Oh, wait a minute. I want to make sure this is on the edge of the pants. There we go. Now for the loops. I'm going to take this one and hit E to extrude, right? Then just scale it back and then put it right there. I may have to lower this edge. I have to lower this edge right there. I want to make sure that this all lines up. Now I'm going to take this edge and extrude it up. It's going to get away from me right there. There we go. Then extrude it up again. Then extrude it back. So it looks something like this. Don't worry if it goes through. I'll be putting a loop that goes all the way through it, and that will make some adjustments there. So that'll be good. Now I want to take these. I want to take these three and extrude it inward, like right there. That should be good. Then take the vertice and put them right on the edge of the belt loop. Now you can just select this vertice and this vertice, hit F to bridge, 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 bridge. Okay, not bridge just yet. Not the last bridge. Actually, let's do this. And then add a loop right there. Now, bridge, bridge. There we go. So now we have the first belt loop. Well, one side of a belt loop. And now we do that with the rest of them. Now for this section, I'm going to do extrude. Oh, turn back on snapping. Extrude that out there. Extrude it up. And it's like these. Then up, then up. Don't worry too much about this right now because we're just putting something down and we'll make it look good later. Now let's select. I'll take these, extrude them inward. Move those inward. Oop, let's move this one in there too. That looks good. Now let us hit F to bridge, 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 and bridge. All right, now let's do this loop. Same thing as we just did before. Just get it down and then make adjustments in later. Hit F, 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 F. There we go. Let's move these out here a little bit. And let's do the same thing over here. Let's move these out a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to be taking this one. Hit decimal to zoom in to what you need to zoom into. Boop, boop, boop. Bridge, 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 and bridge. Bridge. Uh-oh. Whoops. I forgot to add a loop right here. Now I want to do this a third time. You know what? I'm just going to cut here and then finish it up, and we'll be right back. And there we go. We got the top of the pants done. I also forgot I have to fill this whole real quick. Let's just do this. Same thing what we just did at the bottom of the pants. Maybe give it a little extra vertices. Then merge, bring over to the center here. Now for the top of the pants, same thing. Bring that in. Yeah, whoa, don't do that. Careful. Usually when you have snapping on and then you select one of the arrows here, that's when things get all weird. Keep an eye out for that. That's why Control Z is your friend. Did the bottom. So there we go. We're going to add a loop. Actually, I want to add 2 loops through there. That should be good. I'm going to add 2 loops. That should be good. And then just go back there and adjust each one to make sure they are flushed against the mesh. And there we go. All nice and neat. And there we have it. We have retopologized the pants. Now let's turn off the high poly. Click on it, hit shade smooth, and there we go. We have the pants. Now I forgot to name these. Always remember to name your meshes so you can keep track of everything. And I'm just gonna move that into the folder with the pants collection, so that should be good. And I'm actually gonna select everything here and make a new collection for all of this called pants high poly, because we want to again keep all nice and organized. This way I have my high poly and my low poly. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna save the buckle for later because that's a little bit more technical and I want to move on. So let's move on to the shirt. Actually, I want to do a save and then do a save increment because that's always good. Now for the shirt, like I did in the clothing tutorial. Everything is separate. Now I just noticed that there is a little bit of clipping there. That's fine. I'm just going to go into sculpt mode and grab it and just kind of push it inward. There we go. Now, I've been debating on how I want to retopologize the shirt, especially this part right here, because I like that. So I'm not sure. Well, actually, brain blast. Okay, I know how I want to do this. Same thing what we always do. Let's start out with a cube. First, turn off snapping, then cube. So my idea for this strap is actually the exact same way we just did the belt loops. Go into edit, delete this side. Let's go into subdivision, edit, let's delete this, dissolve the center there, select this one, this one, this one, this one, then go to bevel it out, there we go. Scale it back, Control A to apply all transforms, add a mirror. Let's just add a shrink wrap, there we go, apply it. Now I have to make some adjustments here. So I'm just going to go right to the edge of the shirt where the shirt meets the I guess the hard or more leather parts. I have an idea on how I want to do this, and it's easier for me to just show you than explain it. I'm more of a show by example type of guy. Now I want to add 2 loops. That should be good. Then add a shrink wrap to get that all on there. There we go. So for right now, I'm just going to ignore this part and this part and this part. So I'm just going to focus on the bulk of the shirt. So I'm actually going to take these two. I'm going to extrude out, then extrude out again. But I'm going to go in here and delete those faces. So the way I'm going to retopologize the shirt is very similar to how I retopologized the body. So I'm going to take this edge. I'm still going to try to line it up with edge to edge. So right here. But this is where I'm going to split. Go into vertex, move that here, that right here. Just get that right there, so that should be good. Extrude out, extrude out. Oh, let's extrude out about this much. This shirt is going to be definitely interesting. I haven't actually retopologized a shirt like this before. So it's always good to try new things. Try new things, you learn how it's done. That's always fun to do. Extrude that right there. You know what? I'm going to push that right there, and I'm actually going to add in another edge loop right here. So there we go. Then I'm going to extrude down, extrude, and then extrude again. But I'm actually going to turn off clipping here, turn off the mirror, and move it up like this. Then turn this back on and have it like that. Now I want to go back to the back, extrude down, extrude down. I want to, and let's bridge right about there. Okay. Now I'm getting there. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Now I'm going to do the same thing what I just did to the back, but with the front. So I'm actually going to bring that down and F the bridge. Now I'm actually going to take these and extrude down. And put it right about the center of the pecs. I wonder if I could just merge that like that. And merge these two like that. And just space out the polys. Like so. There you go. Okay, that looks good. Because I'm just going to take this nice line right here. Hit 3 on my keyboard. You know what? I'm going to turn off magnet and then scale it down. Then with the scale tool, bring that inwards. Now I'm going to put on a shrink wrap, then apply said shrink wrap, then add shrink wrap again. A lot of shrinking and a lot of wrapping. But I'm going to bring all of this right here. And the very similar to how I like to retopologize the body is I like to go more low poly and then add more polys as I go along because I find it easier to work with. Scale it inwards. Quickly just apply the shrink wrap. You know what? I'm gonna just delete that, dissolve that edge, and add in two loops. Add in 2 loops. And then shrink wrap. Then shrink wrap again. Now I'm gonna go down 1 more. So right about there. Actually, no, I'm going to scrap that. Now I'm going to take these 3 edges here and go down. Put it right about there. Now I'm going to take these 3 and extrude all the way down right about there. Now I'm going to take these, extrude it down once, extrude it down twice, then extrude it like this. And now I'm going to follow this line right here. So I'm going to extrude to right about there. And then I'm going to add a loop right here. Then select these 2, hit F to bridge. So there we go. Then I'm going to add a loop right here. So that's why that could bridge. Let's add a bridge right there. Then I want to add one more loop right there. Then bridge into bridge. So we got the front. And do the same thing with the back here. Now what I'm going to do here is, I don't want these vertices combined, so I want to hit V. That separates vertices. Hit V again, and there we go. But I do want these 2, so I'm going to merge those 2 back together. Whoops. Then bridge and bridge. And then, actually, this should just bridge. Ah, okay. I was afraid of that. But actually, actually, no, I wasn't afraid of that. That's exactly what I wanted. I think. Because I did want to add an extra loop right there. So I could do this, bring that down. Wait, never mind. That's exactly what I wanted. There we go. Ta-da! Now I'm just going to put a new shrink wrap on here. Now I'm going to add an extra loop right through here so it looks a little bit better. So there we go. We got the main bulk of the shirt done. I'm going to save it because I'm quite proud of that. Now I'm going to apply the shrink wrap, and just like the pants and the pants loops, I can't really shrink wrap anymore. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this circle. You just hit Alt and click and you get a nice little loop extrude out to right about there. You have to use a lot of the snapping tool here. I will take these edges right here, extrude them outwards like so. And there we go. Now I'm going to bridge these and then just go straight down here. So just keep on hitting F. I'm going to turn off the shirt. So, oh, wait, I kind of noticed that. Kind of noticed some clipping there. Looks like the mirror isn't actually mirroring as well as I thought it should mirror. So that's just easy fix. Just select everything and then just kind of move it one way or the other, and they'll just lock in. Throw that out, and there we go. Not too bad. Now, if you watched the previous video on the Retopology, when I retopologized the dragon belly, what I'm doing now is very similar to that. Turn back on the shirt. Now I'm going to take these edges, extrude, and then F ridge. So I want a nice little loop around the arm. Right about there. Move these back, because now I want this to connect all the way back here with this one. So let's get these, extrude it to right about there, and take these 2 vertices and just, or merge them together. My bad, merge. The same thing with these. I'll do this section last. Well, second to last. Oh, yeah, strings. Where are the strings at? Let's just hide them. We don't actually need them. Those will not be part of the mesh. They'll be separate. Select these. Let's move this out. I still want everything to line up, so don't go too crazy. I'm also taking this slow because I'm kind of doing something new here, so it's always okay to take things slow. Learn at your own pace. You don't need to rush. Or if you're that type of person where it's like, hey, I need to go fast, then by all means, go fast. Now I'm going to do that one more time. So I have 2 here and 2 here. Okay, I want to do this one more time. But on the back here, I'm going to bring this vertice out to make the back of the collar. Extrude, then extrude. And then bridge and bridge. I like retopologizing, but I will admit sometimes my vertices do get a little dirty. I've been learning to clean them up a little bit. And dirty, I mean they're kind of spread out a little bit. I'm trying to keep everything nice and neat. I want to bring this to the edge. Let's bring these up. And then merge those together. Oh, not merge. Bridge those together. Sorry. Bridge those together. I'm going to bring that up right there. Extrude. Then bridge that one. Take these two vertices. Merge them together. Now I'm going to take this edge and... You know what? Let's just do this. And then these two go right there. Now I'll have to add an extra loop right here. But that way I could do this. Then I'm just going to bring this in like that. Now you notice with the shirt, I don't actually have this hole plugged in or that down here plugged in. That's fine. Some models do that. Some models will have just holes. That's fine. Don't worry too much about that. The body will hide most of it anyway. And then take that loop. There we go. Okay, that's better. And just extrude in. I'll have to fix that a little bit later, like some of the edges right here, but that's fine. So there we go. Now for the strap here, I'm actually going to delete these faces, and then I'm going to take the loop here, and I'm going to hit E to extrude inward like that. And then let's move it. You know what? I'm going to go into the shirt and I'm going to move it up a little bit. So it's, at least this part right here is touching the little strap here. Right about there. That should be good. Might have to do a little bit. I might have to adjust the, I might have to go back and adjust the version just a tiny little bit, but it's fine. There we go. Now I'm going to select this entire loop right here. Like I said, you have to go back and make a few adjustments, but again, that's all right. Now I'm going to select this entire loop. I'm going to turn off snapping, then hit E to extrude, go inward a little bit, extrude again. Then let's go to scale and to just kind of line everything up here. Right about there. Then extrude, maybe turn on snapping again. Whoa. Then extrude again. Now I'm going to take these two and bridge it. Now go back and some adjustments here. Now I will have to add a loop right there, but that is for later. Okay, I also noticed that this strap doesn't actually go all the way in, so I'm just gonna extrude out, and I'm gonna extrude it out and just kind of push it inwards. So it goes in like that. That's perfect. Hit E for side view. Let's get all of this ring here. Let's get this ring here nice and against the mesh. That right there. Move that right there. Move that right there. All right, let's just take this loop and merge it inward like that. So it's less vertices we have to deal with. And let's evenly space out these polygons. Now, before we go in and add any more, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this loop. I'm actually going to turn off snapping here. Now let's extrude. Let's turn back on snapping and just line it up right on the edge of this strap. I'll have to add a loop through here, but we'll do that next. Right now, we just want to get all this in here. Then let's take these two edges, F to bridge the vertices, bridge, bridge, F, 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 only a few Fs. Then let's put in a loop, merge, merge. There we go. Now I'm going to add a loop right here. Let's add 3 loops so it's nice and neat. Now I'm going to go in here and make sure the vertices are nice and neat. See, right here is a pretty big gap, so I'm just going to move all this down right about there. Then add, let's put 2 loops right there. That's good. make some adjustments to everything. Oh, it got a little messy right here. I'm going to go in to this mesh and just kind of bring it down a little bit. There we go. Now a lot of this is just cleaning up the vertices. And there we go. Let's turn off the shirt and hit shade smooth. And there we go. We got the shirt. Oh, wait. I forgot about the bottom part. Wait a second. Wait. We're not done yet. Not done yet. Select all that and just extrude inwards. And last but not least, let's rename this to shirt low poly. Put that into the shirt category. Let's hide that. Put this into its own little category. And there we go. We have the low poly shirt done. This is going to look pretty good when we get the normal map on there. So there's the high poly with the strings here. Actually, I could do those real quick. I'm going to add a few. I'm going to up the subdivision on the strings to about 4. Now I'm going to duplicate them. Take the duplicating ones and put them into the shirt. Actually, I'm going to make a category for the shirt low poly. Then take these and just convert to mesh. I'm actually going to select it. Actually, no, I'm not going to leave it. Now I'm going to go to the low poly, take these. I'm going to turn off. Actually, no, whoops. I'm going to leave the subdivision on. Just put it to 1 and put the subdivision to 1. Select both of these. Convert to mesh. And there we go. All right, we got the shirt done. And now we got the pants done. Let's see where the low poly body is. And there's the low poly body done. You notice that there are some clipping through the low poly mesh with the rest of the clothes. That's fine for right now. When we go to finish everything, I'll just move to kind of inflate everything so it goes around the body a little bit better. And then I'll take the low poly. Then I'll add a shape key to kind of just shrink down the body. So that's fine. So it's fine if it clips through. We'll worry about that later. All right. So we just did the shirt and the pants. Now let's do the vest. Now I actually want to maybe redo some part of the collar here. There we go. I want to bring up the collar just a tad little bit. I was originally going to maybe move this part out, but I don't think there's enough space for it to move this out like that. Yeah, that's not going to look right. So I'm just going to keep it right on top and kind of smooth it out here. So there's a nice little seam in there, like right around here. This is what I want to see. So I just moved it up a little bit. Big old poofy collar. So yeah, that's what I want to see. So I'm going to turn everything else off, just the vest. I'm going to retopologize this first and then move up to this one and then move up to this one. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with a plane, just a regular old plane. I'm going to scale it. That's the point to zoom in and put it right there. Let's go into edit mode. Do that right there. And let's bring it all the way down. I'll add some more loops as I go along. You know what? Actually, I lied. I'm going to put a loop right there. I want to take this edge and move this up here, and then take this edge and do the same thing back there. Let's put a shrink wrap modifier right there. Now let's hit E to extrude, E to extrude, E to extrude. You know what? Let's E to extrude one more. I forgot to turn on snapping, so it did not snap to the mesh. That's an easy fix. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. You know what? I'm going to bring this down so it's right on this rim. Now I'm going to just retopologize the outside because unlike the shirt and the pants, I want to retopologize the outside and the inside too. Now I'm going to go out here. Now I'm going to do the back. And I forgot to put on a mirror. Let's put that mirror on. There we go. We got the mirror. Now I'm going to extrude down, then extrude down. You know what? Extrude down one more. Now I am going to merge these two vertices and then just bring all this, bring this right here. That looks good. Don't worry about this right here. I know there's a little bit of gap. I'll be putting some more loops in there. So right now we just want to get the basic shape. Then do the same thing with the back. with the snapping on, it might snap to the inside. Just be a little bit careful when you're working on that. Just quickly move it right back here. Let us merge those two. That looks good. Now I'm going to turn off snapping, add a loop right there, then take these two edges, bridge, these two edges, bridge, then do it the same thing up here. So we're getting these bridges. Then take a loop cut, put one right there and one right there. Then if you could find it, where'd it go? Right here. Merge those two, do the same thing, merge those two. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to delete this edge here and put a loop cut. And then just put two loop cuts right there, put a loop cut right there. And you know what? Let's put two loop cuts in the back. Looks good. Now I'm going to apply the shrink wrap. And then actually no, the shrink wrap will probably leave off and primarily rely on just the snapping. Let's move that right there. And we'll have to go back and replace some of these vertices. You know what? I'm going to try something here real quick. I'm going to take this, and this. And what if I just join them together? That does break the mirror, but that's okay. And if I move this up here and move this up right here. Now, if I go to shrink wrap, it shrink wraps everything. Well, okay then. I could have done that with the pants and the shirt. And if I go to loose parts, now they're all separate, but it keeps the... Well, I just learned something new with Blender today. Apparently, so I can just join them together, right? Not merge them, just simply join them. They'll keep the modifier, and then I'm actually going to apply that. And then I could just shrink wrap the retopology over everything. Well, you know what? The more you know. I do apologize if you're watching this video up to this point that I just figured that out. As you can see, I'm still learning. There's always room to learn more. You're never done learning, never done figuring out new things. I decided to just try to see what would happen. And you know what? It actually worked very well. So, okay. Let's put back on the shrink wrap. Now I'm going to take this, extrude that up here, extrude that right here. And just extrude all the way around to right about there. You know what? I'm going to join these two vertices right there. You know what? I'm just going to bring all this up. Right about there. That's all good. Let's do the same thing back here. Let's bridge that. Take this loop right here and then just extrude inward right about there. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's skip that part. Don't worry about this inside just yet. We're going to worry about the outside. Don't even worry about in here either. Just the outside. Take these two. Extrude that up to here. Actually, no, let's extrude that right here. Extrude it once more. Then take this edge and extrude it to about here. Probably add in another loop right there, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. Right there. Then right there, I'm going to rotate this and put it round the collar. Like that. Now it's like these two vertices and hit F to bridge, 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 bridge. Hey, you know what? Let's bridge. Right there. Actually, no, let's not bridge those two just yet. Let's do that instead. Because what I want to do is, this is going to be the loop around, so I want it to connect right here. So I'm going to do this, then let's take these two vertices and merge them. So if I go into my edge, now I've gone to my loop cut, see? Now you have a nice, clean loop around. That's what I want to see. And I'm actually going to add one more loop right there. Now I'm going to quickly just apply the shrink wrap here. Make some adjustments to the vertices. Now let's put it right here. Now let's bridge that. Bridge that. I want to add a loop right there. A loop right here. Bridge and a bridge and a bridge. There we go. Let's just bring these down. Now the loops, I'm just going to leave them right where they are. I'm not going to attach them to the mesh. Just going to leave them right there they are, because those will show up in the normal map. That'll be all part of the normal map baking, which is going to be a step down the road. And you know what? I'm going to fix this. This right here, I'm going to do the same thing what I just did right here. So I'm going to just delete these polys, and then extrude right here, and then extrude over like that. Now let's take these two vertices, move this all up here, give us some extra room. And it's just space out. Now we have better polygon spacing. That's good to see. And this looks a little bit better around the collar too. So yeah, looking good. Now I'm just going to select the loop right here. I'm going to go with the 3, and I'm going to extrude up to right about the top edge of the little neck piece here. And again, just 3. Then just move the vertices into place. There we go. I'll add some more vertices. Again, I'll add some more loops in there in a little bit. How I like to retopologize is just kind of get the basics in there, and then I'll start adding more. Now I'm going to take these. Let's take all of these right here. Actually, no, let's take these edges, if I could select it. Thank you. Move those inward to right about there. Let's do this instead. There we go. That's what I want to see. So this one will go all the way around the neck. Now I'm going to apply the shrink wrap, then add the shrink wrap back on. There we go. All right. So let's see. Now, actually, let's name this vest low poly because I forgot to do that. Turn all that off to take a good look at it. And yeah, so far so good. Looking pretty good. Now that we got the outside, we can start working on the inside. And we're going to we started down at the bottom. Well, I guess we kind of started here. So now we're going to start at the top. So I'm going to take these edges and then just extrude them inward to right about there. Down. That looks good. Take the same edges and just extrude them down again. And line these vertices right up with the edge of the collar to the vest. I'm actually excited to see how this will look in Substance Painter. I hope it looks good. I think it's going to look good. I know it's going to look good. It's going to look fantastic. Hey, Jacob. How you doing? All right. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to take these 2 edges and just kind of move this up right here and merge those vertices. Okay. What I'm planning to do is take this. What I'm planning to do is take this edge and move this all the way down. So it's going to become this rim right here. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Extrude that one down. Take all of these edges and move that down to right about there. Zoom in here with the decimal point and put it right about there. Now just space all the polys out nice and evenly. And there we go. I want to move this edge right here to it's right about there. Now going to take these edges and extrude it inward to right there. Let's just bridge that a while. I may add another loop right down here, but that will be for later. Take these and extrude it inward. So there we go. That looks good. Oh, wait. So now I want to put a loop right there. So it's a nice, neat loop. I'm actually going to leave it right there. And I'm going to put a loop right here too. Actually, no. See, it makes a nice, neat loop around, but I'm going to put a loop there later, so I'm going to remove it right now. It also has a nice little loop right through here. That's perfect. Now I just turn off the high poly. There's the low poly. Looking pretty good. All right. So now that we got the outside, the inside will be pretty simple. I'm going to start out with the loop here and extrude inward and then go inward again. Now we'll turn back on snapping here and get right onto the edge. All right, so I'm going to move these down a little bit because I want to put another loop right through here then later. Like I said, I just want to get everything nice and blocked out, and then I will start adding some more loops where they need to be. Let's bring these out too. Let's extrude it out again. All right, so I'm going to adjust these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and bridge it. I want to bridge and bridge. Now, this gets a little weird right here since there's not enough edges on either side. So I'm going to skip this for right now and come back to it a little bit later. So I'm just going to bridge that one. Bridge that one. Then take these two, bring it downwards. Bridge it. Then take these edges and just extrude down for every edge you see right here to right about there. Then hit F to bridge, 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 and there we go. Now I'm just going to go back here and just realign everything. Now I'm going to go into sculpt mode again, find smooth, put it on surface, and just kind of boop, 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 boop. I'll relax a lot of the vertices here. Edit mode, so there we go, nice and relaxed. Then come around here and do the same thing. Bridge that. What I'm going to do here is bridge these two edges, then go over here to this vertex and hit V to separate everything. Hit M to join. Now it's like these two and bridge it. Now I think there's going to be enough here. Like that. Then if I add a quick little loop right here. Now when we extrude these two here, then let's merge these two over here. So far, so good. Now I'm going to actually break these apart with V. Then I'm going to bridge these two, and then bridge these two. Bridge those. Bridge those. And I'm going to merge there. And you know what? A triangle. Triangles are fine when it comes to retopology. Probably not a good idea to make your whole model triangles, but it's fine here and there. Because when you put this into, say, Unreal Engine or Unity or whatever game engine, everything's going to turn to a triangle anyway. So having one here and there isn't the end of the world. Fun fact, when I went to college, they tried to teach me that triangles are bad and you shouldn't have them in your retopology. I learned that was a load of Turns out triangles are just fine. Sometimes you just have to put a triangle there. Because when it smooths out, okay. You see how this is all blocky, right? And then when you go to smooth it, it's nice and smooth. It's easier to smooth a triangle than a rectangle or a square because it automatically puts a line through there, right? So it makes it easier to smooth because you're taking like a flat paper, like say you just take a paper, right? A nice square paper, and then you just kind of crease it. So now you have a nice little bendable paper there. So it just makes it easier to smooth out. But that is a good question. So what I'm going to do up here, so back to this hole, I'm going to turn this into another triangle. All right, before I do the exact same thing, add a triangle here, I'm going to add some loops, like right there. Okay, for this hole, I'm actually going to bridge it. I'm going to go into vertex, knife tool, and cut right here, and then cut right here, and then merge these two together. So there we go. So now I'm going to actually start adding loops myself. Let's put some loops right there. Let's put some loops right there. I'm going to put two loops right there. Now let's go into object, apply the shrink wrap, let's turn off high poly. And there we go. Let's kind of look in, make sure everything looks good. Add smooth, and there we go. For the gloves, take the low poly, go into edit, click on wireframe up here. Then with poly selected, I'm going to select the whole arm up to where the glove ends. Hit Shift D to duplicate, then right click so it goes back to origin. Then hit P, separation tab, and hit separate. Now with that selected, I'm going to hit M and move into the glove. Then go back into view solid, turn off low poly, turn off everything except for the glove. So there we go. Now I'm going to hit 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delete the tips of the fingers. All we want to do is delete the tips of the fingers. Let me go back a little bit. Right about there. Then just delete faces. Looking good. Put the origin back to geometry. And then I'm going to hit shift to just grow it. Grow it a little bit so it goes over. Oh, also turn off the mirror. I don't need the mirror on. That would help. I actually don't need this tail end. I don't need this back end after all, so I'm just going to delete those faces. Now I'm going to then shrink wrap to the mesh and apply it and see how well that did. And that actually worked out really, really well. It's going to be some oddity here and there. So just go back here and fix it. Then I'm going to go into the fingers and extrude once and extrude twice. Then merge at center. Go in the fingers. Do the exact same thing. Now I'm just going to move the vertices into place. A lot of this does look good. Do the same thing with these edges. Again, move everything into place. looks good. Let's add a 2 loops back here. Just for some little bit more consistency. Now let's take this loop, extrude down, then extrude again, and extrude inward. Actually, let's turn off the retopology so we could see a little bit better how far in we need to go. Extrude in, and then merge. Now I'm gonna put a loop right there. Go back into object mode. Let's find shrink wrap it, apply it. That should look, and actually turn back on the retopology. That should look good. So there we go. We have low poly gloves, and that took what, 5 minutes? And there we go. We now have gloves. All right, now that we got the gloves done, let's move on to the shoes. Let's hide everything because we don't need everything. So I'm actually going to remove the mirror on that. I'm going to add a cube, put it right there, put it right there. Let's rotate it right about there. Go to edit mode. Select these two, go to face. Now I'm going to add a subdivision and just keep it at 1. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. Make it shrink down a little bit. I'm going to keep that middle right there. So I'm going to select every other edge here. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it the way it is. That's pretty good. I'm going to throw a quick little shrink wrap onto here. There we go. That should be good. Now I want to take this bottom here, extrude in, and get these vertices right up to the crease. And you know what? I changed my mind. Go into every other. I can use a few more polys here. And I want to bevel it. Probably shrink wrap. That's where I know what I'm doing. Just I don't know what I'm doing majority of the time. All right, let's just move the vertices back into place here. And you know what? I'm going to try doing this. I'm going to delete half and then put a mirror modifier on there, selecting the shoe, because the shoe should be pretty symmetrical. Move that into place. Move these into place. All right, so I'm going to take in this edge. I'm just going to loop around here. And I want to make sure that this is 6 edges. Okay, I want a nice six edge loop. You know what? I'm actually going to merge those two together. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to merge those two together. All right, I'm going to extrude and extrude. I want to bring this down a little bit. I'll add another loop in there, but that's for later. That same thing what we just did with the top heel. We're going to do it with the bottom. All right, now that we got both those done, I'm going to go up here, 3 on the keyboard, extrude down and then rotate a little bit, extrude down again and rotate. If you get this jumping, again, just turn off snapping. Then hit F to bridge, then turn back on snapping. Going to bring this out here and right there. Move this down, move this up here, and extrude out right there. Extrude out again. Extrude. Then extrude. Then just bridge those in. You know what? I'm going to separate everything here. It will make more sense if I do that. Bridge it right there. Then do that. Then do that. Looking good. Looking good. And extrude it. Then do that. Extrude again. Extrude it. Extrude it. Then let's merge it right there. Merge it right there. Then merge these two together. Then let's extrude that. Bridge that. So far, looking good. Now I'm just going to take this loop and just extrude it outwards. Kind of place it right on top of this edge. Line everything up. Now I'm going to turn off snapping because I don't need it on for this part. And then just extrude all the way out. It should line up just right. Maybe not. Now it does. Very, very nice. Now let's just put a quick little shrink wrap on here. Okay, looking good. Now let's just close up these holes. Merge in the center. that over. Do the same thing. Then let's make some final little adjustments. And there we go. Now I'm just going to apply the mirror. You know what? I am going to take this edge here and do a quick little bevel. Let's add one more. Bevel it out and add right there. One final little shrink wrap. I forgot to name this. And there we go. Now we have low poly shoes. Now I'm just going to shade smooth. I'm going to put a mirror and there we go. He is now all low polyed out. Got the pants, we got the shirt, we got the vest, we got the gloves, we got the shoes, the belt buckle. I forgot about the belt buckle. We have to go do that. Let's hide everything. Now this is already pretty low poly, so I'm actually going to copy everything here, then hit Shift D to duplicate it. And I'm going to put it into its own category called buckle high poly. And this is going to be buckle low poly. I'm going to hide the low poly and go to the high poly here. Now I'm going to add a multi-res to get it all nice and smooth and just do that for each one of these. So if I can just actually select everything with that selected, with this one main selected, hit Control L and link modifiers. So now they all have a multi-res modifier on there. I'm going to hide that one, go back to the low poly. Now for the tongue right here, for the belt and the little point here, this is fine to leave it exactly where it is. What I want to do is take this part of the belt and the buckle, and I'm actually going to join them together, as in I'm going to merge the vertices all together. All right, first, before I actually join them together, I'm going to take the back of the belt and then select all that, hit Control plus to get all that, and then delete those faces. Then go into the belt buckle itself. Now for this, I'm actually going to take this loop and then this loop and then delete them. Now I'm going to take the belt and the belt buckle and join them together. First things first, I'm going to take this vertice from the belt. Now this is going to be a little confusing, so take your time. So I'm going to be taking the belt part and then merging it to last and trying to line up every one of these edges. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to delete this one, delete this one. Well, I'm going to dissolve this. Actually, I could probably turn on X symmetry and then move it in. There you go. That's perfect. Then merge last, merge last. Actually, I don't really need these back here. I'm going to delete those faces along with these faces. Do the same thing over here. Now go back and merge last, merge last, merge last. Now you see I am leaving some of these edges here. I'm going to be removing those in a little bit. I'm just going to get what I need done first. If I could just select what I need to, that'd be great. I accidentally made this a little too high poly anyway, so I need to get rid of some things. I didn't. I think I accidentally dissolved the wrong edge loop there. Retopology in a nutshell. Yes. I accidentally did. I did get rid of the wrong there by accident. I accidentally got rid of the... I did get rid of the wrong loop by accident, so I'm just going to move these. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go in here and with, I'm going to go in here and with the edge selected, select this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and hit delete key and dissolve edges. I'm going to go in here and delete these edges too. Then I'm going to go in here and delete these edges. I had too many edges. So that should be good. Now I want to turn back on the high poly. That's not what at the high poly. Turn back on that high poly. There we go. I lied. I'm going to put 2 more edges back on there. Sorry for the confusion. And just kind of move that out. Now I'm going to turn on snapping here real quick and hide these 2 because I don't need them on. Hide all that. Now let's go in here and make some adjustments. Now I want to bring in the low poly of these. And let's just kind of take a look at them. That one's fine. This one, you could probably go in here and dissolve a couple of edges here. It's not going to hurt anything. And then just go in here. Actually, why do I have that on? And just kind of, wait, then go back here and then just delete those. Then go in here and kind of do the same thing. Delete these. You don't really need them. Delete those faces. Go in here, delete those faces. And then go in here. Delete those faces. And with that, the belt buckle is done. So let's just hide that. Put on the low poly pants. The shirt, the vest, the gloves, the shoes, and the body. Now, like I said, there's going to be a little bit of clipping here and there, but that's fine. When we go to texture it and get everything ready before we rig it, I'll go in here and somewhat inflate a little bit around. I'll go in here and inflate some of the pants. So is that so long? I'll go back through here and start inflating some of the areas that are clipping through the body. So it's fine the way it is. So here we go. Everything has been retopologized. Now let's select everything. Hit shade flat so you get a better idea. Not too bad. Hit A. And right now, as is, this model as is, it is 24,374 triangles and 12,334 polygons. So whatever your polygon count is, just times that by 2, and that's going to be your triangle count. So that is my low poly model. That's how many polygons. I try to keep that as low as I possibly can. And yeah, so that's everything. So there we go. Everything has been retopologized. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.